नेट की जरूरत नहीं।
Good morning. Today we are going to discuss tuberculous arthritis. The very important chapter in case of arthritis is tuberculous arthritis. As you all know, tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this is the causative organism, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The 1/3 of the whole world population is affected with this disease. 1/3 of the whole world population. Even today, it is one of the most frequent cause of death worldwide. Even today, it is one of the most frequent causes of death worldwide. Date back to 3000 BC from the mummies. It has been found tuberculosis was identified at that level, at that time. By the 17th century, it becomes widespread, and 18th to 19th century, it becomes the leading cause of death. It decreases with the identification and screening that lead to early chemotherapy. This identification and screening and confirmation by the early diagnosis and then lead to chemotherapy, and this due to this screening and chemotherapy, it decreases dramatically. It is controlled by screening and chemotherapy. So this is a very important point to know about the tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis can affect any organ in your body, either it is lungs, it is a bone, it is a heart, it is a brain. So any organ system of your body can affected by this bacteria. The most common is pulmonary system. Extrapulmonary system can affect in 14% of the cases. 14% of the cases is extrapulmonary, and 1 to 8% is osseous. And this extrapulmonary, 1 to 8% is osseous. What are the bone involved? Usually the most common bone involved is the spine. 30 to 50% case a spinal involvement is there in osseous. Then hip, knee, foot, elbow, hand. So any organ can involve. So any part can involve. But most common in osseous tuberculosis, the most common is pulmonary tuberculosis. But in osseous tuberculosis, most common is spine. How can it affect our body? It affects our body by inhalation, lymphogenous, hematogenous, and contagious extension. So these way it can affect our body. Constitutional symptoms. What are the constitutional symptoms you can find in case of tuberculosis? Is fever. It is not very high grade like pyogenic infection. It is low grade fever. It's a low grade fever. Chill, cough, weight loss, fatigue, anorexia. So these are the findings, constitutional symptoms, and these symptoms is also very important. When you are going to diagnose the case of tuberculosis, then you must try to elucidate this special symptoms also. It will have to listen with this power. It is very important for you. And then the most important is high index of suspicion. High index of suspicion. Whatever the patients come to you, you must arthritis you have, you must suspect. It might be a case of tuberculosis. It might be a case of tuberculosis. So you have to reduce. Oh, okay, this is tuberculosis, this tuberculosis. If it remains inconclusive, then you must you must have in mind it might be a case of tuberculosis. It might be a case of tuberculosis. So really high index of suspicion is needed in this case. Always, especially in India is very common. So this high index of suspicion is very, very important in diagnosing the case of tuberculosis of anywhere, either skeletal or extraskeletal or pulmonary. So this high index of suspicion is very, very important in this case. We have already talked about the most common bone is involved is spine. So which part of the spine? This is very important. Paradiscal. Paradiscal area is very, very important. What is paradiscal? This is a vertebra, body of the vertebra. In between there is a space, that's called disc space. This is disc space. In between the disc space, in between the vertebral body, there is a disc space. So in between both two vertebral body, there is disc space, and this area is called paradiscal, around the disc. So this area is very commonly involved with this. 90% of the cases you will find in tuberculosis is involvement of paradiscal. It can affect the body also. It can affect the other parts of the body, vertebra, like spinous process, lamina. So any part can be involved, posterior elements or anterior elements. The most common is paradiscal. The paradiscal area is very, very important involved. Paradiscal area, the most common involvement is paradiscal. If this area has become involved, what will happen? Once this is the day by day is destruction, and that lead to loss of disc space. Loss of disc space. Before loss, what will happen? There is a decrease disc space. Decrease disc space. There is a decrease in disc space. Disc space become decrease. This will collapse of the vertebra. This whole shape like this. This become collapse shape is like this. So disc space become less. This is lesser space. This is lesser space. This space become decrease in disc space, and finally lead to loss of disc space. So if the decrease in disc space, what is happen? If the both vertebra anteriorly get thrust to each other, fall back to each other, this area become elevated. This area collapsed and this area elevated. So that lead to kyphosis and gibbous. That is from the kyphosis, anterior bending of the spine, because anterior part of the body is collapsed. So anterior part of the body get collapsed. So kyphosis develop, and due to this kyphosis, this area becomes kyphosis. If you feel from the back, the both spinous process become very easily, especially it is more clearly visible or more clearly you can palpate. This is gibbous. The kyphosis and gibbous due to collapse of the vertebral body. Due to collapse of the vertebral body. Due to vertebral body we get collapse. So become kyphosis and gibbous. So these tools is very important. And if a process goes on, what will happen? It forms the cold abscess. What is cold abscess? This is warm abscess. This is pyogenic infection. Pyogenic infection or septic arthritis. Pyogenic infection or septic arthritis, even it is called a pyogenic. Because abscess is warm. Abscess is warm. Abscess is warm. But here abscess is cold. This is not warm. It is cold abscess. If you anywhere you can think it is cold abscess, you must think it is a tuberculosis. Well, what you are talking about? We are talking about tuberculosis, the cold abscess. Cold abscess means tuberculosis, because of it is not a warm. So it can grow very huge. This tuberculosis, because pain and fever is less, also pain and fever is less, so it goes on increasing. If you are not detecting early, then what will happen? A huge cold abscess can develop, and this cold abscess can form the paraspinal area from there to petit angle and there to the iliac spine. So this goes back to the, it becomes this to the hip region also. So between along the rib, it goes into the area, the chest of the part. So it, and along the nerve, even the fascial place, it can travel very long from the disease. It goes back to this, from this place to this place and this place, this place. So anywhere, so very widely it can spread this cold abscess, and so this is one of the also the problem you will find in case of you find a cold abscess. This huge abscess is in the petit tank. This is huge abscess here. Why this huge abscess? It might occur from this place. This is not warm. It is not warm. It is very high. Fever is not so high, but patient is due to weight loss or anorexia. Patient will catch it in loop, but he has no high fever, but abscess is there. So cold abscess is also important finding. You find it as spine. In other parts of also, spine is very important. If this cold abscess, this edema, this collapse, if this compress the cord is here, cord is here, cord is here. If it compress the cord, then what will happen? Cord is going like this, posteriorly. If it compress the cord, then lead to cord compression. It lead to cord compression. And if further going on, cord compression is going on and pressure is going on, cord is compressing more and more, then finally it lead to paraplegia. So cold abscess, so this is paradiscal area, kyphosis, gibbous, cold abscess, cord compression, and finally it lead to paraplegia. So both lower limb get paralyzed. Even it may lead to your sphincter, or this area is also, if cauda equina syndrome develop. So acute changes in your sphincters, bowel, bladder, all get involved. So this is very important. If cauda equina is developed, so it is urgent problem, because sphincter is going to loss. So these are the features you can find in case of tuberculosis.
Yes.
In case of peripheral arthritis, peripheral joints like hip, knee, ankle, and any other joints, hip, knee, ankle, and other joints, what is happening? The first thing is synovitis. First thing occurring is synovitis with pannus of granulation tissues over the articular margin. The first thing involved is synovitis is there. Synovitis leads to pannus of granulation tissues over the articular margin, and thereby it goes to destroy the cartilage, and then lead to destruction of the articular cartilage at the joint margin. From the joint margins, cartilage, destruction of cartilage starts, and goes on. The rate of destruction in tuberculous arthritis is far slower than bacterial arthritis. In case of bacterial arthritis, which is faster, the articular damage is very fast, but in case of tuberculosis, it will be slower. Finally, it leads to cold abscess also. As already we have discussed about the constitutional symptoms, so fever, lot of days, night swelling, night sweating. These things are also you can find in this any joint involved, be it any other joints involved. You can find constitutional symptoms along with these changes. The most important, other than constitutional symptoms and palpitations, the most important things to do in case of tuberculous arthritis is X-ray. X-ray radiology is very important. Most of the time, radiology always say this is tuberculosis. That is always clear in nature. So what you see in case of you do X-ray, what do you find? In case of peripheral arthritis, what do you find? Distension of the joint capsule. The joint capsule become stressed and juxta-articular osteoporosis. These two are very common finding. Distension of the joint capsule and juxta-articular osteoporosis is there. So this is very important early changes, and late changes is joint erosion, joint space narrowed. The joint space become narrowed, become less and less. So joint bone erosion and joint space narrowing is the late changes, early changes in any peripheral arthritis. Either hip, knee, ankle, wrist, whatever the joints involved, you find these two changes in X-ray. So this is very important. Joint space narrowing. Joint space narrowing is very important. In case of a spine, what you find? In early stage, you find the destruction of the vertebral margin, paradiscal area, vertebrodiscal area. The destruction of the vertebral order, because which is just margin erosion and haziness, later on destruction. Firstly, you find haziness of the vertebral bodies, haziness, and in early stage, and in later stage, it will destruction of the vertebral body. If more destruction is there, then lead to vertebral collapse. You find next day the vertebra get collapsed, and loss of intervertebral distance. This is very important. It is very important finding. You find the vertebral collapse is there, and this space get narrowed. Loss of or decrease in intervertebral disc space. Decrease in intervertebral disc space, loss of intervertebral disc space is very important finding in X-ray, or you can say. Otherwise, it is a case of tuberculosis. Usually, in case of tumor, it is vertebral collapse, osteoporotic collapse, or due to tuberous collapse. Always the vertebral space, intervertebral disc space is maintained. Disc space is maintained, but the collapse with loss of intervertebral disc space, your first diagnosis is this must be a case of tuberculosis. This must be a case of tuberculous arthritis. CT scan and MRI also very helpful. If you feel some difficult area where CT or X-ray is not sufficient to reach to that level, there is joint, sternoclavicular joint or a side joint or something where these are the joints where your touch cannot go. CT scan is very helpful in that case, that which is inaccessible areas by the X-ray is easily diagnosed by the CT scan. And especially CT scan is very helpful and useful in case of diagnosis, in case of spine. cord compression or any cord changes in the cord or around the cord or any soft tissue in areas. So if you are thinking that spinal tuberculosis is there, so you must ask also for MRI. MRI is very important in both for diagnosis and both for further management, both for other operation is needed or not needed. So this is MRI is also a very useful guide or for diagnosis in the case of cold abscess, especially in the diagnosis case of cold abscess. MRI is also very important and important diagnostic tool in our hand. So along with X-ray, CT scan, MRI is also very helpful. Now come to the laboratory diagnosis. So usually we find anemia, raised ESR. Tuberculin test is always positive. Tuberculin test is always positive. The hallmark of diagnosis is acid-fast bacilli found in tissue or fluid. Either in tissue or either in fluid. If you find acid-fast bacilli, then it is hallmark of your diagnosis. Hallmark. If you find the hallmark of diagnosis is identification acid-fast bacilli. But this is very important. So this is hallmark of diagnosis. But you can do it in bone culture, FNSC, and biopsy. And these are areas you can send for the biopsy, you can for the FNSC. These are also very helpful in diagnosis in case of tuberculosis. If you find a tuberculin epithelioid cells, if you find any epithelioid cells and bone destruction is there, no mammalian changes is there, so indirectly you can diagnose the case of tuberculosis. So this FNSC and biopsy is also very helpful in diagnosis, in diagnosing case of. So like right from clinical feature, constitutional symptoms, and local joint systoring, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, and laboratory finding. These are the very important things in case of diagnosis. In case of early identification and diagnosis and prompt treatment, early intervention, either by operation or other by way. So this is very important in controlling the tuberculosis arthritis. It's very important. Early diagnosis and early treatment. Early diagnosis and early treatment is very important. Now come to treatment. 90% the tuberculosis arthritis is treated conservatively. The purpose of treatment is halting the infection, control the infection, limit the deformity. Deformity must be limited. That is control. So halting infection, limiting deformity, and maintain mobility. Mobility must be maintained and reduce discomfort. These four things are very important in conservative management of the treatment. If needed, if operation is needed, then what you do? You can do arthrotomy and lavage, resection of the joint, arthrodesis of the joint. In case of spine, you can do cord decompression. Normally it is called ALD, anterolateral decompression, anterolateral decompression of the space where cord, so to prevent the cord compression, to prevent the cord compression, you do ALD, anterolateral decompression. If introducing cord compression is there, you can relieve by, if there is a cord compression is there, it can be relieved by the ALD, anterolateral decompression. So these are the way of treatment. And along with this, doing operation, you must not omit the conservative treatment at medical therapy. Medical therapy is medical treatment is very important. Either conservative, you do simply traction or plaster or something else, or you go for operation. Whatever you do, so it must be added with the medical treatment. Medical treatment, 4 drugs, usually 4 drugs, multi-drug therapy, usually four. Isoniazid, paraginamide, ethambutol, and rifampicin. Rifampicin. It's the most commonly used drug. It's the most commonly isoniazid, paracetamide, ethambutol, and rifampicin. It's the most commonly used drug. It is for, and you can add other drugs if needed. So, or any reserve drugs can be used accordingly. But either conservative or operative, so medical treatment is important. Or in case of tuberculosis or tuberculosis, treatment is longer than pulmonary. So it's longer than pulmonary. This pulmonary treatment, pulmonary is responded with a 6-month treatment. So if you go for osseous therapy, it usually 12 to 18 months. 12 to 18 months. Usually 12 to 18 months, most commonly 12 months. So this is about the treatment of tuberculosis. Thank you.